This extraordinary 18th century building was inspired by a Byzantine church in Italy and is the only 16-sided house in the whole of the country. But who would build such a place and where? Let's find out in just a moment. Today, our house-hunting couple are keen to relive their childhood memories of the countryside. And it seems there's only one word to describe our properties.
Lovely.
Lovely?
Yeah, lovely.
That's lovely.
Oh, wow, this is lovely.
But later on, things step up a notch.
I'm not going to say that word anymore.
What word was that?
The perfect word.
The P word.
Yes.
And the good vibe is contagious. Ken, I nearly did a little dance then. You were both speechless.
Yeah.
Today I'm in Devon and this is A La Ronde, the eccentric Georgian home of cousins Jane and Mary Parminter. They built it to house the mass of artefacts and souvenirs they collected whilst travelling around Europe for 10 years. And as you can see with the design, there's lots of windows allowing the sunlight to flood in throughout the day. Crammed full of hidden doors and escape routes, the property has over 470 keys. And it took 4 years for the National Trust, who look after this property, to match each key with the right lock. It's certainly an unusual and intriguing building and hints at the many fascinating sights this county is home to. The average price of a detached property here in Devon comes in at around £309,000, which is £22,000 above the national figure. Remember, though, this is driven by the high prices in sought-after South Hams, one of the most expensive areas in the country for buying property. The good news is Devon is a large county with more affordable options. For a seaside location, head to the north coast, in or around Ilfracombe. If you fancy living more inland, Oakhampton and Tavistock will give you more for your money. So bearing that in mind, let's find out where today's buyers want to settle. Retired sales advisor Lynn and her charity advisor husband Ken have always been big softies at heart.
We met at a teddy bear fair, didn't we?
Yeah, we
About
did.
18 years ago?
Yeah, I was asked to go along by my friend because his wife was going and he didn't want to be the only male there. So I went along to back him up, you know. And I like teddy bears anyway, so...
So that was it?
So that was it.
The bears were to blame. And then we were married 12 years ago now.
Home is a 3-bedroom bungalow in Caterham, Surrey, where they've lived for 12 years. But after being in the area for around 3 decades, they feel it's not the place it once was.
There has been a lot more development. It used to be more of a villagey atmosphere, but I think with the development and the extra traffic, it really has changed a lot.
So with Ken's retirement fast approaching, they've invested quite a bit of time planning their next move.
I just feel that we want something a bit more rural, a bit more countrified. I grew up sort of not far from here and worked on a farm as a child.
And although Ken has always dreamed of living in the countryside, it's only recently that this move has become a real possibility.
I had a motorcycle accident 43 years ago, which left me paralysed from the waist down. And in those days, places weren't so wheelchair accessible. So this gives us the opportunity now because we can go places, and I want to see things that I wasn't able to see because of working, changing my lifestyle because of my accident.
They've decided it's in Devon where they'd love to settle. Lynn's sister lives in the county, and Lynn also has many happy memories of visiting her grandmother there. When she introduced Ken to the area, it didn't take him long to fall for it too.
Devon to me is a lovely childhood. It's just somewhere that I have personally always wanted to live. I didn't actually think it would come true at this stage of our lives, but hopefully it might do now. It's just everything to me, really. It's got everything that I love about life is in Devon.
And when I drove down there for the first time, it just had that feeling I was going home, and I just fell in love with it.
When they make their move, our couple are looking forward to integrating themselves into the local community, as well as spending time on their many hobbies.
Ken will get more time to do some wood carving. I like my garden, I like needlework, quilting and cross-stitching and a little bit of painting.
So, with their home on the market and their cat Mary part of the move, it's clear this is the start of a new adventure.
It is exciting, yeah. Scary, but exciting.
Lynn and Ken are pretty open about where they live in Devon, but don't want to be too far from Lynn's sister in the south of the county. And before we start our search, I'm meeting them to get to the bottom of their property wish list. Well, Ken and Lynn, welcome to gorgeous, gorgeous Devon. Starting off, what does this move mean to the two of you?
A whole new start, really, isn't it?
Everything, really. It's what we've just always wanted to do ever since we've been together.
So how much research have you managed to do already looking for this new property?
We reckon we can write the good... yeah.
Good guide to Devon at the moment.
Good guide to Devon at the moment. We're looking for areas that, as I'm getting older, are still not going to be too much of a problem for me in the wheelchair. Yeah.
So what is it that you're looking for?
In a property, I think we obviously everybody wants something with a little bit of character. Ideally, single story for obvious reasons. It's space because the wheelchair does require space.
Yeah, three bedrooms would be really nice. 2 bathrooms.
Yeah,
because of my disability, I take a long time in the bathroom.
And you'd like a workshop?
Yeah,
or
workshop.
a garage or workshop. For
Something I can
carving.
do my wood carving.
And a nice garden, a nice safe garden. We've got a cat that we adore.
So, you know, do you want to be near a community? Do you want to be quite rural?
Edge of a village would be lovely with an active community.
Well, let's remind ourselves of how much we've got to spend on this new property.
OK, well, our budget was sort of £350 to £400 for the absolute right property that doesn't need too much spent on it. We could go to 425, but that would be it.
That's the top ceiling.
That is the top.
Yeah, that would be the top.
Right, well, we do have some rather lovely properties to show you. So shall we finish our tea and then get going?
Lovely.
Sounds fabulous,
Good.
yeah.
Right, here's to the next few days.
Lovely.
Oh,
Thank you.
For a top budget of £425,000, Lynn and Ken want a single-storey property with character, space and a well-considered layout. They'd like 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms and a secure garden for their cat Mary. And Ken would like a garage or workshop so he can continue his wood carving. As far as location goes, they'd ideally like to be on the edge of a village so they can get stuck into the local community. We've chosen 3 fabulous properties for Lynn and Ken to view, and it'll only be after they've toured each one that I'll reveal the price. The final visit will be to the mystery property, which, with just a little bit of creative thinking, could provide the perfect home for them. For our first visit, we're travelling to South Devon to Brimley on the edge of Bovey Tracy. Perched on the edge of Dartmoor, the pretty cob and granite-built market town is known as the gateway to the moor. The local church is Grade 2 listed, and the neighbouring hall is the centre of a thriving community. There's a good selection of local shops and eateries, including the Cromwell Arms, a reminder of the town's involvement in a major battle during the English Civil War. Back in Brimley, residents are served by a post office and general store. A short walk away is our first offering, a whitewash bungalow.
Wow.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah.
As you notice, as we came down this little drive, you do have quite a large Victorian pile behind us.
Yes.
Yes.
So in a way, we're part of the estate, even though you're independent. This house dates back only to about 1980s.
Oh, wow.
Okay,
Yes.
okay.
So it is relatively modern.
We can't wait to see it.
Great.
All right, well, if you'd like to come with me, let's
Lovely.
take a look.
Fabulous, thank you.
This 30-year-old property is laid out on one level and has been recently renovated. We're beginning our tour in the large sitting room to the left of the front door. So you've got quite a nice wide hallway, which
Lovely.
is important,
It is.
isn't it?
It is absolutely
This is
important.
a lovely,
yeah. No,
lovely
that's a nice
square
room.
Thank goodness. We like a square room.
Do you?
Yes. And it's nice and light.
Yeah, looks out onto the garden.
Lovely.
Does it feel like
Yeah.
a home?
Yes, it does, actually.
It does.
Yeah. Kitchen's
We love
not
it.
quite so square, but beautifully done. Let's see what
Okay.
you think.
Sounds
Okay,
good,
lovely.
thank you.
Thank you.
The kitchen also leads off the main entrance hall. So, we have a brand new kitchen.
It's lovely.
You've also got a small utility room.
Lovely.
With plumbing for washing machine, dryer out there, and access as well.
Lovely.
So this works?
Okay. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Perfect
Yes.
for us.
You wouldn't mind leading the way.
Yep.
To the left, we're
Okay.
going to take a look at the bedrooms and
Okay.
the bathroom.
The bungalow is laid out in a T shape with the sleeping quarters running along the top of the T. We're heading to the bathroom, which serves 2 of the 3 bedrooms.
Now, I know it's important that you both have a bathroom.
Yeah.
Because we were thinking this probably would be your bathroom.
Yes, yeah.
But we're not going to forget, Lynn. So we're going to go down this hallway and see what we've got in store for you.
Okay,
Lovely,
good.
thank you. That's great.
Beyond the bathroom are 3 bedrooms. There's a double next door. Along from that is a single. And that just leaves the room we've earmarked for Lynn and Ken.
So at the end of the hallway, we have our master bedroom
Lovely.
Okay,
Yeah,
lovely.
this is a nice size.
with an ensuite.
All right.
The all-important
Yes,
ensuite.
lovely.
That's lovely. And it's a spare bedroom.
Yes, square. We like square. You've gathered that.
Yeah, well, it's important. Is
So
it
nice.
exciting you, though, as a home? Because we've talked practical, we've talked about
sure if
requirements.
exciting is quite the word.
Okay.
Yeah, not sure.
But we have 2 heads, Ken and I. We have our dreamers' heads and we have our practical heads. So somewhere in the middle,
Yeah.
we have to meet. So
Good
far,
team.
this is good so far.
This is good.
Really
This is good.
Nikki.
Well, I'd like to show you the garden next, and there's something else I'm going to mention. Don't want to give too much away. So let's head back outside, shall we?
Fabulous, thank you.
The garden is behind the house and totally enclosed, so could be perfect for Lynn and Ken's pet cat.
So from here, it looks a large home, doesn't it?
It does.
Yes, it
Yeah, it
does.
does.
Yeah.
And it does have quite a large, generous garden.
Yes.
If you like it as it is, it's pretty low maintenance.
Got the option. Do what you want with it.
Blank
canvas.
canvas.
Yeah.
So you have this rather lovely garden, and the final part is it does have its own garage. Good-sized garage, stroke workshop, should you want it to be.
Lovely.
That sounds
That's
lovely.
what we
That sounds
wanted.
really good for me. Yeah.
So we now have to get to the serious bit, don't we?
Yeah.
Where do we think our first property sits?
Shall I go first?
Deep breath.
Yeah, you go
Deep
for it
breath.
first, Lynn.
385.
OK.
Yeah, maybe 385, 390.
OK. Well, you're both very close to the asking price. Has recently come down. It is £379,950.
Okay.
So that's well within
Yeah,
our budget.
that's well within our budget.
And allows us the little bit extra to do the modifications
For the wheelchair.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Positive start. Well, I
Yes.
think you
Yeah,
two
really good one.
should go and have another look. So I'm going to leave you to it.
Okay, thank
Explore,
you.
take your time.
We will.
And I'll catch up with you in a little bit.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
That sounds
Okay.
fabulous. Thank you so
We'll
much.
go this way.
This recently renovated bungalow comes in at around £45,000 below the top budget. The property is well laid out and has the space our buyers are after, with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms. There's also a pleasant, secure garden and a garage cum workshop for Ken.
First impressions when we came round the drive, I looked at it and thought it was a very pretty looking bungalow. It had a cottage look to it, which I really liked.
Garden is fantastic. There's a lot of fors and not that much against, but a few little things that we probably need to just chat about, just to sort of see how we would manage with a couple of issues.
Overall, the property is pretty much what we're looking for, I think. I love the prettiness of it, and I can see how I can perhaps make it even more so in my own style.
Thought I might find you here. So, our first property, just outside Bovey Tracy. How are we feeling?
Very optimistic.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah,
Yes,
very,
lovely.
very good start.
Good.
Thank
A
you.
really good start.
And we've got more to show you. So,
Wow.
Lovely.
should we hit the road?
Yes.
Sounds
lovely.
good.
Thank
Fabulous. Thank you.
Devon's climate, which is milder and wetter than other regions in England, helps provide a rich, fertile terrain which benefits not only farming, but horticulture too. Between Exmoor and Dartmoor in the county's small market town of Great Torrington is Rosemore Garden. Once home to the 5th Earl of Orford, the house and garden were left to his wife and his daughter, Lady Anne Palmer, following his death in 1931. Lady Anne gifted Rosemore to the Royal Horticultural Society in 1988. The garden was developed and 2 years later opened to the public. Its 65 acres, home to 4,000 plants from all over the world, attracts 175,000 visitors a year who marvel at the blooms and trees. Nature lovers Lynn and Ken have come for a guided tour with gardener Bridget Ibbs.
Welcome to Rosemore Gardens.
Thank you very much. We've always wanted to be here, and it's just such a lovely day to come and see it.
I know, we're lucky with the sunshine, aren't we?
Fabulous weather,
yeah.
What was the garden like when you took it over?
When we first arrived, apart from Lady Anne's house and a small garden on the other side of the road, this was all pasture land. To do the landscaping, it was an incredible job. They actually had to move, I think it was 13,000 tonnes of soil from the entrance area to level out the formal garden.
Wow.
So it's been an incredible journey for us here over that time.
The garden changes throughout the year with the seasons, and in the autumn it's the colour-blocked hot garden that's the star, which is where they're headed next.
Why is it actually called a hot garden?
Well, it's called a hot garden because of the amazing colour scheme here. We have this wonderful, vibrant display of purples and oranges and yellows and all these really deep, rich colours. And you can see that these purple flowers, they're actually covered in all our honeybees. So the bees really love that really deep purple flower.
Right.
So that's a wonderful thing to plant in your garden for the bees.
While the bees are hard at work collecting pollen, next stop is the kitchen garden, which is also flourishing.
Absolutely amazing. I'm so surprised at the size and the beauty of it.
Well, this is a wall kitchen garden, so we're really lucky. We've got a lovely space to grow in. So we've got lots of espaliered and trained fruit trees, apples and pears and peaches. We also have a greenhouse with our tomatoes in. At the moment, we're cropping our runner beans and sweet corn. So we grow pretty much everything here that you could grow at home.
Ken enjoys his garden, and Bridget has a suggestion to make gardening more accessible to him.
We've also got raised beds, actually, which I think are a really good idea. So you have them at waist height, and it means that you could do everything. You can grow everything on your raised bed and garden just as you would actually on the ground.
Oh, it sounds perfect.
Yeah.
At one of the raised beds, sweet peppers are growing alongside chili peppers.
This lovely sweet pepper here, actually, this is called red skin. That's a really tiny one. And then here is, this one's called long green Buddha. But we've also got chili peppers here. That one's called vampire, that deep purple one there.
Yeah, I can see.
It takes around 6 months for the peppers and chilies to grow from seed before they're ready to pick.
Wow, fabulous.
A nice red pepper.
These raised beds are made of oak, but there's something that could easily be assembled using old offcuts of wood if they fancy living the good life in their new Devonshire home.
The good thing about raised beds as well is, you know, you've got really good soil in there, so things, especially a lot of your root crops, really love it. You'll get really huge carrots from a bed like this because they'll be able to just easily go down through that lovely soil.
Yep.
Well, Bridget, thank you so much for your time. We've had the most wonderful time here.
Thank you for your time. It's
and we've
absolutely
we've learnt so much.
It's been lovely to meet you both,
thank you.
and good luck with your house hunting.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
For our second property, we're travelling deeper inland, near to the border with Somerset, destined for the village of Holcombe Rogus. This tranquil village is home to quaint country cottages, a mixture of stone-built and pastel-painted facades. The most notable building here is the privately owned Grade 1 listed Tudor manor house, Holcombe Court. There's a village shop and a post office in the local garage. There's also a village hall and a traditional 17th century pub, and all this surrounded by a classic Devon backdrop. Just south of the village is our second property.
Oh, it's lovely. It's really lovely.
Yeah, it is gorgeous, yeah.
Now, this is an unusual cottage because, in actual fact, it started off life as a house. Built out in the 1900s, we believe it was a thatched house, and there was a huge fire, and they managed to salvage the bottom. So it does have the feeling of a house inside it, but it is just one story.
Right, that's interesting. It's just lovely. Just what I sort of imagined.
Should we take a look?
Yes, please.
Come on then.
Brilliant, thank you.
Not only did this single-level property gain a new roof, it's also been recently refurbished to an extremely high standard.
We're entering from the side of the property via the utility room and going straight into the kitchen.
I am just
Amazed.
in awe of it at the moment.
Yes. I love it. I wouldn't change a thing other than possibly take out the middle bit if it is freestanding, which would then make it 100% perfect for us.
See, this is the faces that I
Yeah,
wanted.
I
I'm
know.
feeling it.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can make you fall in love with the sitting room just through there, please, Lynn. So we're going to follow you.
All right.
Thanks, Ken.
The sitting room is just next door.
Wow, this is lovely.
Wow.
I said I wouldn't say wow.
Listen, I'm at the back and that's music to my ears. I'm loving this.
This is lovely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazing. Amazing.
I've heard the word
it is.
wow, amazing, perfect.
Yeah.
If I can get really good on this side of the
Yep.
property, I'll be happy.
Lovely.
Right.
So are we.
So I'm going to get you to turn round
Thank you.
and we're going to just head up this hallway.
The entire left-hand side of the property comprises the sleeping quarters, with a smart bathroom serving 3 bedrooms.
So if you'd like to poke your head, just have a little peek there.
Wow.
That's
a bathroom.
That is a big bathroom.
Yeah. But where are you going to sleep? Right. Follow me.
Thank you.
Next door to the bathroom is a small double bedroom, and at the front of the house is a larger square double. Next to that is the master.
Yes, it's
Lovely.
lovely.
Ideally, you did want the 2 bathrooms. You might need to give up a bedroom to do that.
That would be okay.
Oh, I'm so pleased. I don't want to get
I'm
too
not going to
pleased,
say
do
that
I?
word anymore.
What word was that?
The perfect word.
The P word.
Yes. The best we've ever seen.
Yeah. it
Which
really
makes me
is.
wonder even if we can afford it. But there we are.
Okay, let's go back outside.
Yes.
And then we
That's
will
important.
get to that.
Yeah.
That bit. I'm
Yeah.
afraid. The guess the price.
Yes. No problem. Thank you.
I'm not sure things could get much better here, but outside is just as lovely, with fabulous views from the enclosed garden, perfect for Mary, their beloved cat.
So we do have to discuss the garden. It is quite a large lawn.
Yep.
It's high, but this could be a fantastic spot to put in a slightly elevated sort of ramp, shall we say, going up and landscaped into the garden.
Yes.
So you have access, full access to
Yeah.
it. And you also get the beautiful garden that you want at the same
Yeah,
time.
exactly.
Was there one more thing that you wanted, though, with this property?
Yes, it was actually. Yeah. Workshop.
There's parking on the front,
Yes. Lovely.
and there is a garage at the side of
I
the
did.
property as well.
Notice that.
Garage come workshop.
Oh, wow. Yep.
So it's all been very positive. We know you might need to spend a little bit of money.
Yes, of course. Yep.
Question is, do you have that money left over in your budget?
Well, I'd say it's got to be 410.
I'd go a bit higher. I'd say 420.
I want you both to take a deep breath because the asking price is £339,950.
No.
Joking.
Well, we
That's
would,
sad,
in,
isn't
our,
Wow.
in answer to your question, we would definitely have some money enough to do the tweaking.
Ken, I nearly did a little
Somewhere.
dance
So
then.
I
you were
thought-
both speechless.
Yeah,
Honestly,
I'm
your
speechless,
faces.
actually.
Do you want a second viewing?
That
On
would be
your-
lovely.
so.
That would
I
be
think
lovely.
so.
Be my guests.
Thank you, Nikki.
Thank
we will.
you.
Thank you.
Nikki, thank
Yes,
you.
thank you.
This beautifully refurbished bungalow has rung in at £85,000 below Lynn and Ken's budget. It's got the character they want, and the space and layout seems to suit them down to the ground. The property gives them both the scope and the money left over to turn a bedroom into a second bathroom. Outside, the garden with its splendid views could be adapted for Ken.
I loved it. Looked at the kitchen and just thought, Lynn has loved this. And it's just a real fabulous kitchen.
This has just got everything. It's the single story and it's got character and it looks like a cottage. Perfect.
You often think that there's always something that you go, yeah, maybe. But no, with this, I just thought, okay, you can change that. That's adaptable. It just looked like everything could be adapted. I love it.
Well, what a way to finish our day. That was quite a house tour.
Absolutely amazing. Thank you. Wonderful.
Absolutely. Yeah, just amazing, amazing.
I think we're going to finish on a high note, and guess what? Got one more house to show you tomorrow.
Not sure how you can top this one, but we'll wait and see.
We will try.
Yeah.
Right,
Okay.
let's go.
Thank you.
It's day 2 of our journey around Devon, looking for a bungalow for Lynn and Ken from Surrey to live out their rural dream. And with a top budget of £425,000, they want somewhere that's accessible for Ken with a safe garden for their pet cat Mary. We've still got a challenge to come with our mystery house.
It's an open book, and you're about to write the next chapter. Oh, get me today with the mystery house.
And I'll be seeing what goes underfoot in our royal households.
We actually have a number of carpets being woven for high-profile clients, one of which happens to be Buckingham Palace.
I'm feeling pretty positive because yesterday seemed to go so well. Our first house, on paper, gave them everything that they asked for, although I think it didn't quite capture their heart. But the second, it seemed like a true love affair with minimum tweaking and maximum impact. Now, we know our couple love character and they love charm, and today, with our mystery house, they're going to get plenty of both and more besides. Why? Well, it's called a project.
For our mystery house, we're travelling to the village of Sprayton, located in mid-Devon. The rural village is just north of Dartmoor, with far-reaching views across the park. It's full of chocolate box cottages with whitewash and thatches aplenty. There's a village shop here and a village hall, the hub of local life. The pub is named after a supposed forefather of the village, Uncle Tom Cobley, who was immortalised in the Devon folk song Widdicombe Fair. He's said to be buried in the church here in an unmarked grave. Just a minute's walk from the pub is our third and final offering, the Mystery House.
It's lovely. It looks
gorgeous.
lovely as well.
Yeah.
Gosh.
They call it a colonial house. I can see why actually standing here.
I love it, yeah.
Very, very nice.
It is an old building, nearly 100 years old, so
Yeah.
it's going to need that creative thought process as we go around.
Okay.
Good.
That's
Yeah?
good.
Good.
That's
Yeah,
good.
we like that.
Yeah.
Good. It's an open book.
Good.
And you're about to write the next chapter. Oh, get me today with the
Fabulous.
mystery house. Right, let's take a look.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
This smart whitewashed bungalow was built in 1919 and later extended. We're entering the property through the side door into the extension.
Straight into our kitchen.
Wow.
It's lovely.
A
It is
lovely
lovely.
sized kitchen.
Square.
A really
Again.
nice sized kitchen.
Is it calling you, Lynn?
It is, yeah, like this.
Calling
It's got a
you.
lovely homely feel to this.
We love the outside of the property.
Yes.
Kitchen
definitely.
has got a
Yes.
big thumbs up.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right, let's continue through.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Next door to the kitchen is a half-tiled shower room and adjacent to that a large utility room. Moving on, a few steps leads us up into the original part of the bungalow.
So, we do have those stairs, which we'll discuss in a minute.
Okay.
But just come on in here for now.
Oh, what a lovely room.
Fabulous fireplaces.
Fireplace is gorgeous.
Lovely room.
This is absolutely
It is.
our cup of tea.
It's got that real feel, yes.
The fly in the ointment are the 4 steps, aren't they?
Yes.
Because this
Yes,
house
yes.
is on a slightly different level.
Yes, yeah.
There may be a way round that, which
Yeah.
we can have a look at.
Keep open mind still.
Show you the whole of the property, because you know better than anybody what is achievable and what's not realistic. But it is a fabulous mystery house, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
On the other side of the hallway is the sitting room, which is bright, square and airy. Then, continuing down the hallway are 3 double bedrooms, all looking out the front of the property. There are 2 doubles, and at the end of the corridor is the master.
Oh, this is a lovely room.
Yeah.
Lovely. Look at the
room.
sun coming through. It's gorgeous.
Lovely square room.
It is. Gorgeous.
There is a hidden extra, you might notice. There's an ensuite.
Oh, right. So that could be my bathroom.
Yeah. got everything.
It's
It's got everything that you would
that
want.
we would want.
Yeah.
Well, we've still got the back garden to see. I know you
Lovely.
fell in love
Okay,
with the front.
yeah.
I did.
And then,
Okay.
of course, for the final time, guess the price.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right, let's head back.
Right, thank you.
Lynn and Ken seem blown away with this property, and I'm blown away by their reactions. Let's hope they continue as we move outside to the secure level garden.
So here is our property with this beautifully well-maintained and well-loved garden, I think.
It's lovely, you can see that.
You don't have a garage, but I must remind you of that huge utility room at the side of the property, because that could make a fantastic workshop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Let's talk about the financial side. What price are we going to put on it?
I think 410.
Yeah. I'd say 4.
OK. You've got money to do some work on this property, because the asking price is £350,000.
No.
You're joking.
Oh.
Now, we've made just one inquiry, but to put in a lift to help with those stairs,
Yes.
it would cost between £7,000 and £15,000.
Okay.
That's very good.
Yeah.
I'm guessing you'd like to go and have another look,
I'd
wouldn't
love
you?
to have another look,
Yes.
yes.
Do take your time.
Lovely.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Our mystery property has come in a generous £75,000 under the top budget, so there's money in the pot to make any practical adjustments. It has the square rooms they love and need, and just the number of bedrooms they've asked for. There are also the 2 requested bathrooms, and outside the garden is pretty and secure. So, if Lynn and Ken are willing to accept the challenge of overcoming the 4 steps, they might just have found their dream home.
Look at the house, is just fabulous. The steel fence around the front of it looks gorgeous.
Well, my thoughts on the mystery house, when we first saw it, I just lost my heart immediately at the gate. I knew it was the place for us. It's exactly the style, the garden, the location, everything was perfect.
Obviously, the only issue really is the kitchen is on the lower level, but as Nikki has mentioned, the cost of a stair lift to be installed, so it's something to think on, something seriously to think on, because we love it.
I can't fault the house other than 4 steps. That's my only fault with the property. But maybe we can overcome that.
I think I've had all the emotions today.
Yes,
Wasn't quite expecting that, but in a
No.
good way.
it was.
Oh, yes, definitely.
So we're going to have to go somewhere. I think I should leave you two alone to discuss all the options,
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
have a bit of time, and then catch up with you and find out what your next move is going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sounds
Thank
good?
you. It does. Yeah.
Sounds really good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
The town of Axminster in the east of Devon has long been known for carpet manufacturing, and although the trade has had a bit of a bumpy ride through history, it's still going strong today. I've come to meet Josh Dutfield in his family's carpet factory to learn more about its beginnings. Now the commercial director, he's the grandson of the man who resurrected the industry.
It goes back over 2 centuries, back to 1755, and that was the time in which the first ever Axminster carpet was made. And it's a special type of weave which they named after the town, and actually the first one they paraded throughout the whole town with church bells, etc., to celebrate the first ever production of carpet.
My goodness.
Carpet making in Axminster was born when a local cloth maker named Thomas Whitty visited London and saw some carpets imported from Turkey. He was so impressed that he was determined to recreate the colourful patterns himself.
What Thomas Whitty did exceptionally well was effectively invent a weave which gave him the ability to make very high quality products, but with a different weave structure which allowed him to make beautiful designs. Axminster was chosen because of the wool trade, and the southwest is synonymous with high quality wool.
So Thomas Whitty's hard work, coupled with British wool, created a very successful business. Unfortunately, it was short-lived as disaster struck in 1835 when fires swept through the factory. Just over 100 years later, in 1937, Josh's grandfather, carpet designer Harry Dutfield, resurrected Axminster carpets after learning the industry had all but died.
The site where we are now was actually originally a vegetable patch, and it was my great-grandfather, grandfather and the other founding directors who hand-built the many parts of the factory you see today.
Now the factory employs 160 staff and produces 300,000 square metres of woven carpet a year. It's still woven in the same way it was done in Whitty's time, with British wool, including wool from Devon. The carpets are commissioned for customers from all over the world, as well as some closer to home.
So here we're producing for a commercial client, which is the Great Western Railway.
I thought it looked familiar.
Yeah, it's one of our local railways to the area. This carpet must go in situ on a train with all the trolleys and people walking up and down and last over 8 years.
But I must say it's the more high-end clientele that really excites me.
We actually have a number of carpets being woven for high-profile clients.
Go on.
One of which happens to be Buckingham Palace. Sadly, I can't show you it, but we are royal warrant holders here. I'm very lucky to produce carpets.
For the Queen.
Absolutely.
You can't show me, Josh, but you can't stop me from looking. I'm going to be keeping my eyes peeled as we walk around the mill.
There are 30 looms here, some, like the one we've just seen, that date back as far as the 18th century. We're heading to one built in the 1960s. This loom weaves a top-quality product, and it takes around an hour to produce 1 square metre of carpet.
This is what I recognise. This is what you think of when you think of your carpets.
This one's actually for a high-profile boutique hotel in Paris.
Did you think your grandfather, who is standing here today, would be very proud of you?
Oh, I would hope so. I mean, I hope he'd be proud of everyone working here.
Once completed, the woven carpets are lightly brushed, then gently steamed before being sheared to create a smooth and even finish.
So, Josh, what's going on here?
So here we have one of the final quality inspection areas, and this is where every single woven carpet is hand inspected and hand repaired. What you'll see over here is Emma then actually identifying a potential repair and then effectively hand stitching back in where the grippers haven't taken the yarn correctly.
She's so quick, isn't she?
Oh, it takes an extraordinary amount of skill both to spot the fault in the first place and then actually be able to know how to repair it.
Josh, this has been so fascinating, and I have to say, next time I'm in someone's house, which, let's be honest, is quite often, I'm going to be looking at the carpet. I'm going to be checking out the quality under my feet. Thank you so, so much for the tour.
No problem, Tom. It's been an absolute pleasure.
I must admit, I was quietly confident that we'd found Ken and Lynn their dream home with our second property. We then introduced the mystery house into the mix, and guess what? I'm now not so sure. They seem to adore both those houses, but is there one in particular that's a favourite enough for them to put an offer on? Well, I've given them some time to mull things over. Let's see what they've got to say. So, put me out of my misery. How have we done?
You've done very well, actually.
Have we?
Yes.
Yeah.
The second house, which, as you know, we loved, there were a couple of little issues about the garden, mainly, I think, and relocation of a second bathroom. We're going to make a few more inquiries about around the locality, services, things like that are in the area, which we don't know anything about.
Oh, looking very positive, though.
Yes, yeah.
So I've put the welcome to your new home card in that pocket, but in this pocket, I wasn't sure whether I had another welcome to a new home, a new mystery home.
Oh, it is just so amazing. It is just... There's just those few, which are sort of silly, but are sort of quite important issues.
Oh, I don't think they're silly.
You know...
Let's clarify, we're talking about those steps, aren't we?
Yes.
Yeah.
That house, actually, I told you at the time, it did steal my heart, and I think I'd have, well, maybe not written the cheque out there and then, but almost, if I hadn't seen those 4 steps.
When I saw the steps and I thought, oh, there's an upstairs, and then I noticed that actually the house was on that level, there was a little bit of a drop in the heart.
It's whether, day to day, having to go up and down on a lift, and only you can really answer that, whether you could learn to live with it, and that's such a personal decision. So it sounds like
Wow.
You want to go back and see both of them
We
again?
do, actually.
Yes.
We really would love to hear from you again.
Yes,
Thank
you
you.
will.
If it's
Yes,
not
you
one of
will.
our homes, if it's another, please let us know how you get on.
Yes, we will.
Thank you both so much.
And thank you.
Thank you so
And
very,
it's just
very
been
much.
such fun. Thank
yes,
you.
it has. We've really enjoyed ourselves, so thank you for the
you.
best.
Absolutely loved it. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
It's been such a smashing week with Ken and Lynn. They genuinely seemed impressed with the quality and character of the homes we've shown them, and all of them came in under budget. Now, understandably, they need to do a little bit more research before they're prepared to commit to a new home, but we have left them in no doubt that they can and will find a wonderful place to live here in Devon. They truly are the most lovely, lovely couple, and we wish them all the best. I'll see you soon.
Lynn and Ken have since decided that although they love 2 of our properties, neither one was completely right for them, so their search continues. If you would like to escape to the country in Northern Ireland, Scotland, Wales or England and need our help, please apply online at bbc.co.uk/be on a show.
This extraordinary 18th century building was inspired by a Byzantine church in Italy and is the only 16-sided house in the whole of the country. But who would build such a place and where? Let's find out in just a moment.
Today, our house-hunting couple are keen to relive their childhood memories of the countryside. And it seems there's only one word to describe our properties.
Lovely.
Lovely.
Yeah, lovely.
That's lovely.
Oh, wow, this is lovely.
But later on, things step up a notch.
I'm not going to say that word anymore.
What word was that?
The perfect word.
The P word.
Yes.
And the good vibe is contagious.
Ken, I nearly did a little dance then. You were both speechless.
Yeah.
Today I'm in Devon and this is Ala Rond, the eccentric Georgian home of cousins Jane and Mary Parminter. They built it to house the mass of artefacts and souvenirs they collected whilst travelling around Europe for 10 years. And as you can see with the design, there's lots of windows allowing the sunlight to flood in throughout the day. Crammed full of hidden doors and escape routes, the property has over 470 keys. And it took 4 years for the National Trust, who look after this property, to match each key with the right lock. It's certainly an unusual and intriguing building and hints at the many fascinating sights this county is home to. The average price of a detached property here in Devon comes in at around £309,000, which is £22,000 above the national figure. Remember, though, this is driven by the high prices in sought-after South Hams, one of the most expensive areas in the country for buying property. The good news is Devon is a large county with more affordable options. For a seaside location, head to the north coast, in or around Ilfracombe. If you fancy living more inland, Oakhampton and Tavistock will give you more for your money. So bearing that in mind, let's find out where today's buyers want to settle.
Retired sales advisor Lynn and her charity advisor husband Ken have always been big softies at heart.
We met at a teddy bear fair, didn't we?
Yeah, we
About
did.
18 years ago?
Yeah, I was asked to go along by my friend because his wife was going and he didn't want to be the only male there. So I went along to back him up, you know. And I like teddy bears anyway, so...
So that was it.
So that was it.
The bears were to blame. And then we were married 12 years ago now.
Home is a 3-bedroom bungalow in Caterham, Surrey, where they've lived for 12 years. But after being in the area for around 3 decades, they feel it's not the place it once was.
There has been a lot more development. It used to be more of a villagey atmosphere, but I think with the development and the extra traffic, it really has changed a lot.
So with Ken's retirement fast approaching, they've invested quite a bit of time planning their next move.
I just feel that we want something a bit more rural, a bit more countrified. I grew up sort of not far from here and worked on a farm as a child.
And although Ken has always dreamed of living in the countryside, it's only recently that this move has become a real possibility.
I had a motorcycle accident 43 years ago, which left me paralysed from the waist down. And in those days, places weren't so wheelchair accessible. So this gives us the opportunity now because we can go places, and I want to see things that I wasn't able to see because of working, changing my lifestyle because of my accident.
They've decided it's in Devon where they'd love to settle. Lynn's sister lives in the county, and Lynn also has many happy memories